Hey y'all, welcome back to Buzz Bish, the only podcast, well, probably not the only one, but the only one I've seen that is trying to do three different shows at one time, and it's just it's kind of messy, but welcome to Tea Time. Now, this one is not going to be dramatic and about feuds and fights. It's going to be actually really good. If you like Taylor Swift, you'll like this episode. So, grab your drinks, grab your headphones, and just kick back and relax with me. All right, so if you guys haven't heard, which I'm sure even if you do not care about Taylor Swift, which I mean if you don't, like what is wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Boo? Because she actually went on to her dude Travis Kelsey's podcast. It's called New Heights. And yeah, I've never heard of it either, but we love Travis Kelsey. You know what I'm saying? We love him. But she actually went on to his podcast and revealed a release date for her new album. Yes, girlies, a new freaking album. I'm excited. It's called The Life of a Showgirl. Now, she did her drop her release date, which I'm pretty sure it's October 3rd. Yes, it's October 3rd, which I mean is not too far away. So I'm really excited for it. The cover art looks really cool. It's like her and like some water with like a jeweled like bikini type thing on. Like she just looks so iconic. And it's giving like, I don't know. I don't know what it's giving, but it's giving something and I'm here for that. I love Taylor Swift. I'm not going to go into how much because like it'll make me feel old, but like, yeah, back in her country days, like Picture to Burn and all that, I've been following her since then. So to see her hit the heights that she has, which it's ironic that Kelsey's podcast is called New Heights. I think that's so fitting. And the fact that she just randomly goes on there is like, yeah, I'm dropping a new album, my 12th album. And she just like broke the internet with that one statement is actually crazy. But that's kind of how, I don't know, Taylor Swift fans, like Swifties they're called, I respect them so much because literally they're like investigators. They investigate literally down to her clothes, the coloring of certain posts she posts. And it's kind of like crossing the line between like kind of scary, but I think that they own that and they like stand on that. Like, yes, we're crazy and we love it. Love it for you guys. But yeah, they're probably going insane. Now, I am definitely a fan of Taylor Swift's music. Am I a Swiftie? No, I don't consider myself a Swiftie. I am almost 30 years old, so definitely don't consider myself a Swiftie. But I am genuinely excited to look forward to her new music. I mean, I know her last album, The Tortured Poets Department, got like mixed reviews. I really liked it. It was kind of like a different sound for her. Like, kind of, not really, but kind of, not really. But it was like a different, I don't know, different sound. But the one thing I did have a problem with is like kind of all the songs sounded really similar. And I know that that happens, because you get into a certain groove with the album and you want it to like kind of tell a story, artists are different, but I know that that's like how she kind of looks at it. And yeah, it definitely did tell a story. I mean, I don't know what the story was, but it told a story, I couldn't follow the story, but yeah, it definitely told a story, girl. But yeah, there were some serious bops on there, like Down Bad, The Tortured Poets Department, the title track. There were some Fortnite, like some really good bops on there. I feel like people, here's the problem. This is kind of like throwing shade towards like people in general that listen, everyone that listens to music. I'm sorry, but people, when they love an artist, they don't like to see them grow. They want them to stay the artist that they know and listen to for years. Like I can understand that, because like my favorite artist growing up was Avril Lavigne, and like when she changed over into like pop, I kind of was like, girl, what are we doing? What are we doing here? This is not the emo pop punk stuff that, like let's rage and throw this glass at the wall type shit that I signed up for. But you know what I'm saying? It's kind of just like you either fall out of it and you move on to a different artist, or you support that artist and, try to find songs that you like. It is what it is. So I'm excited to see what she has in store. I know her reveals are so dramatic. Everything she does is so dramatic. And as somebody that is also very dramatic, I'm here for it. It's just, I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be great. I think we're all going to be pleasantly surprised, because at the end of the day, I'm sure her team sees the analytics of what songs people actually listen to. And as I was getting ready to film, because I play music in the background, while I'm like getting set up and everything, and I knew what the topic was going to be about. And then her song Delicate came on. I was like, yes, okay, yes, there are a few songs that, from back then that I still love to this day. So I mean, literally, it's just, here's the thing about Taylor. Here's the thing about Taylor. A lot of people like just group her in like the breakup. She sings about breakups and guys and stuff, which that's what sells. This is the thing I try to explain is like she's kind of got it down to a science of like what sells versus what she really wants to write about. You know what I mean? She can toe that line between this is what I want to write about, this is the story I want to tell, but I have to kind of make it vague and marketable towards her brand and the people that listen to her, not trying to like make a blanket statement, but I mean, the people that listen to her are probably people going through heartbreak or, like, I don't know, like in a good relationship. I don't know. I don't fit in that category, but you know what I'm saying? So you definitely have to think about like the way she's marketing herself and her music, because you can't just post whatever you want and expect it to do good. So she's got that down to a science. So I am definitely excited about her 12th studio album. And we're going to kind of go back a little bit and bring up some cold tea. This tea is ice cold, but I do want to talk about it to remind people, because I feel like some people definitely forgot. Like, I just want to put it into perspective for people, because let's not forget, a lot of people are like, oh my God, like she's just like some like singer, blah, blah, blah. But like, let's not forget, this is the same icon that literally was going through that like argument for her masters back in 2019 with Scooter Braun, who cares, but like for Big Machine Records, like them in general. She was going back and forth with Scooter over ownership of her masters. Now, if you don't know what masters are, they're basically the like raw recording of the songs or the albums, right? They call them records. I don't know why, because they're not records. Like, we don't do record players out here, honey. But I actually saw somebody have a record player and like records and shit. I was like, oh my God, how antique. I'm here for you. But so yeah, basically, she was fighting to get her masters back, which is a huge deal. Like, whoever has control of the masters basically has control over the album. You know what I'm saying? And it's just, us as fans don't really think about it, but like that's a huge deal. So you guys remember when she was coming out, she re-recorded every single album and called it Taylor's version. That's why. I'm sure you guys already know this, but I just want to bring it up so we can kind of put it into perspective, like how smart she really is. Like, she's not stupid. So she just re-recorded everything, and all her fans were on board and were like, yeah, like, fuck the old versions. We'll listen to Taylor's version. And, there were some like differences. I'm not going to lie. There were some differences between like certain tones and pitches and stuff, like for different songs compared to like the old versions. So, I was like, oh girl, I love the way you sung that first, but obviously she can't like fully match it pitch by pitch, but it was good. I mean, it was almost a carbon copy of her old masters. So, we were all jamming to that. And then finally this year, she actually got ownership of her masters. So I think that's amazing. And especially going through that, you know what I'm saying? She's good. She can she can conquer whoever, because at the end of the day, watching artists work with certain people and then having a horrible time, it just, and Hollywood still like allows that person to like be in business. You know what I'm saying? I want to be in Hollywood too, girl. Like, let me not get it twisted. Not as a singer, but hey, you know what I'm saying? So I'm not trying to burn no bridges, but hello, like, let's get real. That's actually crazy. The fact that, someone would even hold her masters hostage like that. Like, I get, it's a money thing, it's a business thing. You want the money in the business, but like, so that little to them, okay, that little bit of money was worth completely ruining your public perception. Because now when you think of certain people, you think of that situation, not the millions of good music put out, produced or whatever, but like that situation where it was just straight negativity coming from your side. So, I guess, hopefully it was worth it, because he's canceled for sure. And normally I don't agree with the cancel culture thing, unless someone really deserves it. In this case, he definitely deserves it. So definitely happy for Taylor in that aspect. And I'm excited to hear about her new album, because she's going to be dropping hints and shit for sure. Like, I can only name a few songs that are like 10 minutes long on the fingers that I have left, and that is three that she or that actually do successful in the Billboard Hot 100, and the All Too Well 10-minute version like topped that list. So I mean, listen, her Eras tour, like that was a whole thing. I feel like that like coined the phrase era. Like now it's just a word we all use. It's like, yes, I'm in my podcast era type shit. You know what I mean? Like everyone uses it. And it's so funny because even people that don't like Taylor Swift, they like were like, okay, she's killing it. She's like actually killing it. Like selling the fuck out. I mean, her music is so, here's the thing, like I don't know. It's like hard to market though, because I'm almost 30 years old and I still listen to fucking Cruel Summer and shit. I'm definitely a pop type of person, but I mean, I freaking listen to K-pop, let's be real. So that kind of sound to me is just like, I like it. So I don't know, it's definitely not for everybody, but her different eras, they market so well towards different demographics. It's like there's a song on one of her albums that everybody likes. You know what I mean? Like there's a song, there's an album, there's an era for everybody. So I just love the whole marketing behind it. And I feel like Taylor's team now, Taylor's team is doing right by her, doing the best that they can possibly do for, I mean, someone who kind of like got back in the public eye for, dating a NFL player, you know what I mean? But at the same time, having her Eras tour, I feel like just the marketing, the genius behind that is crazy, because it's like perfect timing for everything. And then as soon as like attention or the spotlight starts to fade, it's like, no, I have a new album. Everybody, spotlight back on me. Thank you. And I love it. I appreciate it. And I can see the brilliance behind it. A lot of people would probably, talk shit or hate on that type of thing. But I mean, that's what you have to do, right? It's all about, unfortunately, it's all about clicks and, streams. And nowadays with TikTok, people don't make this, it's crazy to think about, but people don't make songs for like to listen fully. You know what I'm saying? They like make catchy songs with like a catchy chorus. Excuse me. They make like songs with a catchy chorus so that it goes viral on TikTok. That's what a lot of people, a lot of like newer artists especially have in their head is like, oh, I want this song to go viral on TikTok. But it's like, that alienates a lot of people's music though, because it's like, great, you had a catchy verse or you had a catchy chorus, but like the rest of your song sucked. You know what I mean? And like for longevity, I don't think going viral on TikTok is gonna like help you sustain like a long music career. It could definitely, boost your streams, make you go viral real quick, bring in that money, but unless you're investing that money back into yourself, like where's it gonna go? You know what I mean? So I don't know. There's a lot to consider when you think about music in general and the whole marketability of different artists and albums. I feel like Taylor's good. She's got it down pat. And, I'm really, really excited for it. I think it's probably gonna be, definitely internet breaking for sure, to say the least. But I feel like it's gonna be good. Like her last album, I liked it. Yeah, it was different, and it was like the sound was a certain sound that you either loved or you hated. It actually took me a few a few listens before I was like, okay, yeah, no, I'm fucking with this shit. And yeah, I still listen to it. So what's up? And listen, like her songs, oh my god, they sound so like in my head. This is like how I view things. Some of her songs, like I could hear in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like to the background, like in a movie. So it's like if you got all that shit down, your movies would, or your movies, my brain, your music would sound good on a soundtrack. Like you're good. So yes, that's all. I think this is the one time I will say I think it's safe to have hope that an album coming out by an artist is actually going to be good. Because recently, I mean, especially for like old artists, not shaming anyone, but like their new stuff is just not, it's just not it. It's kind of like, girl, maybe it's time to retire, move on, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know. Taylor looks like she puts on a show, so love it. Love her costumes. Iconic. Oh my god, I'm sounding like the biggest Swiftie right now. I promise I just appreciate it. I'm someone who can appreciate good marketing, music, and talent. So yeah, that is the Taylor Swift segment of this show. So crossing over into another singer that I personally love and have loved for a minute, can we please talk about Demi Lovato? So okay, you guys have had to have seen what has been going on. So I don't know what the Jonas Brothers were like on when they like were doing their concert, but they brought out Demi Lovato, Jesse McCartney, and All Time Low. Now, love Jesse McCartney, Beautiful Soul, like that was so iconic back in the day. I don't know what I'm talking about. But All Time Low, that was my favorite, like my first favorite, like pop punk, like emo bands, like Hair in My Eyes and like band tees and skinny jeans type era. That was like the first band I was put on to. And like Dear Maria, Count Me In, that whole album, So Wrong, It's Right. Oh my God. I love them until like their one album with the song Life of the Party. That was kind of like when I fell off because their sound was changing and it didn't really. I listen to that song now and I'm like, oh wow, why did I like stop listening to them? Because it's Life of the Party is really good too. But they're not as popular as they were, obviously, because trends have shifted and all that kind of thing. Music has changed for sure. But oh my god, Dear Maria, Count Me In. I didn't realize at the time. I was so young. So obviously and Twitter and all that wasn't really a thing. Like that wasn't really a thing until like 2010. In 2009-ish, maybe even 2010 is when like I was introduced to All Time Low. So yeah, I didn't realize how popular like emo culture and it's so weird to say emo culture. It just is. Like I know that that's what like people call it nowadays, but back in the day you were just emo. Like it wasn't a culture. You're just like more emo. But yeah, emo culture and emo music was like It wasn't cool back in my day. Like it really wasn't. Like I don't know who decided like it was popular, but it wasn't. There are like four or five emo people, including me in my school. So that's what I'm basing it on. But like, yeah, you weren't like trendy if you were emo. It just was like, okay, you know, you were the emo one. But yeah, anyways, so still love emo music. You know, from time to time, I'll just jam out to the oldies, the oldies, 27. But you know, they're oldies to me. Shit. And yeah, All Time Low is going on tour. They're actually coming to my city, so I'm really excited. I'm definitely going to that. But back to the OG topic. Um, the Jonas Brothers brought out Jesse McCartney, All Time Low, and Demi Lovato. Now, Demi is one of the artists that like come from Disney Channel and like people kind of, were used to her Disney Channel sound. I love Demi Lovato. Like genuinely, she had like that edge to her even back then, but her one album, The Art of Starting Over, like after her, overdose and everything, which we're not gonna go down that situation because I don't feel like that's like anyone's place to really talk about. But when she made that album, like it really did not do as good as like I thought it was gonna do. But like oh my god, Dancing with the Devil, Anyone, those are just straight up bops. Like emotional freaking, Anyone is such like an emotional ballad, and then Dancing with the Devil still like got that poppy, bop sound to it, but it's, emotional as well. I think that's like her best sound, but we're not talking about that. So she she's bringing back like the camp rock sound and like stepping into it. You know what I mean? She had a new song come out called Fast, and it's more of like an electronic type of backtrack, with her vocals sounding more like electronic based, you know what I'm saying? So it is a different sound. It's not my personal favorite sound for her. I think, we need some raw emotion vocals. Like those raw vocals are what she gives us the best. So I really hope she goes back to that because, there's not many people like being just straight up like hitting those notes besides Ariana Grande, who is another great vocalist, but we're not talking about her today. We will when Wicked for Good comes out for sure. But yeah, I just, I think it's amazing that she's like stepping into it, like or leaning into it instead of being like, like so cringy and like I hate that past. And if you know the story of like her how do you say, like her journey with drugs and alcohol and like all of it, then you know what I'm talking about. But like Camp Rock 2, the filming for that and the touring and stuff, like what happened on that tour, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's great that she's like looking back. Oops, sorry about that in the background. I should have muted. But it's great to hear that she's stepping into everything, and she's not afraid to lean into it. So that's great. And it's just amazing. I mean, I was so young when like Camp Rock 2 came out, and I used to love like Wouldn't Change a Thing. Are you kidding me? I used to do both parts, bitch. Fucking feminine voice on for Demi's parts, masculine, well, quote unquote masculine voice on for Joe's parts. Like I used to go in. So the fact that they're performing it, oh my god, it's a great time to have like, grown up with Disney Channel. Like even Miley Cyrus is doing like a Hannah Montana tour soon. Like, it's been teased at, not like fully announced, I don't think yet, but it's definitely been teased at. And it's a great time to, like, I don't know, just have grown up with those shows and movies and music because, now that we got our own money. It's like, hell yeah, I'm going to that tour. Hell yeah. See, marketing, they're good. They know what works and what's up. Cause I don't know. I just, I'm so excited. Even with when like Avril Lavigne and Simple Plan like went on tour, I was like, yes, my inner child healing begins. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's great. I love it. I think, there's probably a lot more to come if this works out. And by works out, I mean if it makes a lot of money, they're definitely not going to want to stop that cash cow because, I mean, Camp Rock in general was definitely a huge moneymaker for Disney Channel. And yeah, I mean, Hannah Montana alone, like, sorry about that. Hannah Montana alone started the whole, well, actually, High School Musical did. I did like deep dives on like all that shit. You know what I'm saying? There's actually a YouTube channel called Deep Dive, and it's like the greatest thing ever. They deep dive into like everything. And High School Musical was actually like the OG musical thing that was on like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon. And then Hannah Montana. And then that's why Victorious existed, is because Nickelodeon needed a rival to rival like Hannah Montana and High School Musical. So it's just so interesting. And like nobody expected like musical television or movies to be so popular in kids' TV, but it definitely was. Like we still know the words to those songs, honey. So it definitely worked out. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm more excited for. The Taylor Swift album, the Demi's like new era. She's like, oh my god. And in her fast video, she like made fun of her oh my god, her old meme. She's so memeable, and I think she's repping it now. Oh my god, so memeable, so just naturally just fucking memeable. Literally a walking, talking, breathing meme, and I'm so here for it. So let me know what you guys are looking forward to most. Is it Taylor Swift's 12th studio album that she has the masters do? Is it the new era of Demi Lovato and what she's got going on? Is it Camp Rock 3 question mark? Is it the Hannah Montana tour? There is a lot of stuff going on up in pop culture. And I feel like these are the topics that when I'm scrolling through, I stop and look at because I just think they're so interesting. It's almost like kind of like, guys, let it go. Like, let's not ruin it. But I think they'll do right. They'll do right because it's the OG stars. It's not like Harry Potter where it's all new people. And I don't think it's really like geared towards people who grew up with Harry Potter, which is dumb. That's a whole nother video. So I'm going to go, guys. Have a great day. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, share, rate, do whatever you got to do. All right. I'll see y'all later.